Life is a series of connections. From the moment we're born, we seek love, companionship, and a sense of belonging. Our relationships shape us, bringing moments of pure joy, unwavering support, and profound meaning. However, sometimes our relationships bring pain, confusion, and suffering. They leave us drained, questioning why we endure the heartache. We've all been in relationships that wear us down, where trust is shattered, respect is absent, and love is replaced by control and fear. These are toxic relationships that cloud our hearts, weaken our spirits, and keep us stuck in cycles of suffering. Yet even within these challenging situations, the Buddha offers a beacon of hope, showing us how to break free from the chains of toxic love without denying the need for connection. Over 2,500 years ago, the Buddha had a profound understanding of human relationships and the impact they have on our well-being. He emphasized that much of our suffering stems from attachment, our tendency to hold on tightly to people, situations, or outcomes, even when they cause us pain. Through his teachings, he illuminates a path to freedom, not by rejecting love and connection, but by living with wisdom, compassion, and courage. Today, let us embark on a transformative journey guided by the Buddha's wisdom as we explore how to let go of toxic relationships while honoring the beauty of love and connection. Recognizing the nature of relationships. In his teachings, the Buddha frequently drew comparisons between our relationships with others and our interactions with the natural world. He often reminded his disciples, "Just as a bee gathers honey without harming the flower, so should we live in the world." This simple, yet profound analogy illustrates the essence of healthy relationships. They are like bees gathering nectar from flowers, taking only what is needed without causing harm and leaving the flower intact to continue blossoming. Mutual respect and nourishment define these relationships, fostering growth and well-being for all involved. On the other hand, toxic relationships are like weeds that choke the life out of a garden. They are relationships where there is a constant struggle, where trust is broken, respect is absent, and love is overshadowed by control and fear. These relationships are draining, leaving us emotionally depleted and yearning for the nourishing connections that are essential to our well-being. Understanding, attachment, and clinging. One of the Buddha's most significant insights into the nature of relationships was his emphasis on understanding, attachment, and clinging. He taught that much of our suffering in relationships arises from our tendency to hold on tightly to specific outcomes, ideas, or ways of being. We often mistake this attachment for love, believing that by holding on tightly, we can protect and preserve the relationship. But in truth, attachment is rooted in fear of loss, fear of emptiness, and fear of not being enough. In toxic relationships, this fear can intensify, leading us to cling even more desperately to the hope of change or to the remnants of past love. However, as Buddha taught, it is this very clinging that deepens our wounds. Instead of bringing us closer to genuine connection, it keeps us trapped in cycles of craving and frustration. To truly break free from the grip of toxic relationships, we must recognize that love is not about possession, but about freedom. We must learn to hold space for the imperfections of ourselves and others, allowing room for growth and change. By doing so, we open ourselves up to deeper, more authentic connections based on mutual respect and understanding. Compassion without sacrifice of self. The Buddha consistently spoke about the importance of compassion, not just for ourselves, but also for others. He taught that compassion involves recognizing the suffering of both ourselves and those around us, and then acting wisely to alleviate it. In the context of toxic relationships, this means acknowledging the suffering of both parties involved. It allows us to see beyond the harmful actions of the other person and recognize their own pain and struggles. This understanding does not justify their behavior, but it does open our hearts to a deeper level of empathy. Compassion can lead us to express our feelings honestly and openly, to forgive and to work towards healing. However, it is crucial to remember that compassion does not come at the expense of our own well-being. By practicing self-compassion, we recognize our own worthiness of love and respect. Setting boundaries and protecting our peace becomes an act of self-love rather than selfishness. Compassion without self-care is like trying to help someone while ignoring our own needs. We can't pour from an empty cup. By nurturing ourselves, we become better equipped to offer genuine compassion and understanding to those around us, even when their behavior is harmful. Letting go as a path to freedom. The concept of letting go is central to many spiritual traditions, including Buddhism. In the Buddhist teachings, the act of letting go is often described as the path to freedom, liberation, and inner peace. When we apply this principle to toxic relationships, it means releasing the emotional baggage, resentments, and attachments that bind us to relationships that no longer serve our highest good. Buddha taught that much of our suffering is caused by clinging to impermanent things, such as relationships that lack mutual respect, honesty, or care. By letting go, we free ourselves from the burden of trying to control outcomes, people, or situations that are beyond our grasp. This process of letting go is not easy. It can evoke intense emotions like grief, loneliness, or fear. However, the Buddha reminds us that these feelings are impermanent, too. They will pass. And on the other side of this temporary discomfort lies the promise of lasting peace and clarity. Letting go is not about giving up on love or connection. It is about making space for healthier, more fulfilling relationships. It is the key to unlocking a life filled with mindfulness, authenticity, and freedom. Practical steps from Buddhist wisdom. Now that we've explored the core principles, let us delve into practical steps inspired by Buddhist wisdom that can guide us in letting go of toxic relationships. Mindful reflection. Take quiet moments to reflect on your relationships. Ask yourself, how does this relationship affect my heart, my peace, my energy? The Buddha emphasized the importance of mindfulness as the first step to transformation. By bringing awareness to our thoughts, emotions, and experiences, we gain clarity and insight into our relationships. Compassionate distance. If direct confrontation feels impossible or unsafe, create distance. Protect your energy by setting boundaries. Compassion does not require us to endure harm. It allows us to set limits while still holding positive intentions for the other person. Breathing practice. When the urge to cling or react intensely arises, turn to your breath. Inhale peace, exhale attachment. Deep breathing grounds us in the present moment and helps dissolve the grip of fear and anxiety. Meditation. Send love and kindness and forgiveness to all involved. Wish for their happiness and well-being. This practice transforms bitterness into compassion, even as you distance yourself from the toxic dynamics. Trust impermanence. Remember the Buddhist teaching. All things are impermanent. Nothing stays the same forever. Relationships, too, will change and evolve. Trusting impermanence helps us accept endings gracefully. Healing after letting go. As we release toxic relationships, we may experience a range of emotions from relief to grief or loneliness. It is essential to acknowledge and process these feelings. Engaging in activities that bring joy, connecting with supportive friends, or seeking professional help can aid in the healing process. Moreover, practicing self-care becomes crucial. Engaging in activities that nurture our physical, emotional, and mental well-being can help us rebuild a strong sense of self and inner peace. Closing inspiration. In closing, remember this. Letting go is not weakness. It is the embodiment of strength and wisdom. It is the courage to choose peace over pain, clarity over confusion, and freedom over fear. The Buddhist path is a path of liberation. Liberation from suffering, from clinging, and from the chains that hold us back. Letting go of toxic relationships is not about turning away from love and connection. It is about walking toward a deeper, more profound kind of love. A love that nourishes, respects, and uplifts. If your heart feels heavy today, know that you have the strength to release what no longer serves you. You have the wisdom to choose peace, and you have the compassion to wish well for others as you step away. Letting go is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new chapter, one written with mindfulness, courage, and freedom. May you find the strength to release, the wisdom to heal, and the peace that comes from walking the Buddhist path of letting go.